I was thinking a change of scenery would be nice. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Today, here's 5 of the best project cars to get into the car community, in my opinion. Let me just say, this video is my opinion. I don't care if your favorite car didn't make the list. It probably wasn't a good one anyway. Before I start, the cars I picked were based on a few things. How safe the car is, how reliable the car is, how expensive the car is, and most importantly, how fun the car is. Not to waste any more time, let's get into it. Number 5, the Lexus LS400. These engines are fucking bulletproof. 4-liter V8 makes people call this engine the finest V8 in the world. This is a Japanese engine, so they won't leave you stranded, and you can turn these into the ultimate show build or a badass VIP build. The sky is the limit for these cars, outside of your own imagination. Number 4, the Nissan 350Z. Every teenager starter enthusiast car that isn't a Miata. These fuckers have a 3.5-liter V6 engine, and since it's Nissan, it's reliable as hell. People literally do anything and everything to these cars. Track monsters, drift missiles, rally cars, street racing builds, and they even send people flying at takeovers. Again, the sky is the limit for a 350Z. Number 3, the Ford Mustang. America. Quite possibly the most controversial country in history. They've done a few things right and a lot of things wrong. But we're not here for history class. Oh no. We're here to talk about one of the greatest things to come out of this goddamn country. An American powerhouse on 4 wheels. One of the most iconic cars of all time. The Ford Mustang. They've been pumping these fuckers out since the 60s, but they really took off in the 90s and 2000s, and they still dominate today. Whether you get one from 1996 or 2023, you get the same power, just in a different package. You can get a 4.6-liter V8 New Edge, or if your parents don't want you to have that much power, you can get the 3.8-liter V6. Don't forget about the 5.0 Coyote V8, the 760 horsepower Shelby GT500, or a blast from the past with the Cobra Mustang. Whether you make this car a drag demon, a street race icon, you can never go wrong with a Mustang. Whatever you do, just don't take one to a takeover. Please. You'll thank me later, and someone who you'd end up hitting will thank you too. Number 2. You all knew it was coming. The Mazda Miata. I know what you're thinking. Meepski, why isn't the Miata number 1? Sit down and shut up. I'll tell you. Number 1, this is my video and therefore my opinion. If you don't like it, feel free to argue. Number 2, I can do what I want and put things where I want them. But I digress. The Mazda Miata is truly an enthusiast car. It's not fast at all, so your parents will be satisfied with it. It's small and doesn't take up a lot of space. It comes in a manual. It handles really well. It can also have a drop top. The aftermarket support is insane. And the most important part of these cars, pop-up headlights. That's the real reason people even look at these things. However, I should say this. If you are over 6 feet tall and carry more stuff than a backpack can hold, I would stay far away from this car. If you're 6 feet tall, fitting in this thing would be difficult and uncomfortable, like Shaq trying to fit in a Kia Soul. Not impossible, but very difficult. And, seeing that it's a very small car, it doesn't really have a lot of trunk space, so I wouldn't exactly plan on taking this thing on a road trip with your whole family. And again, for my tall brethren, the headroom and leg room is pretty much non-existent in this car. If you're a short king or a woman, this car is absolutely perfect for you. For my honorable mention, we have the Honda Civic. And I can already hear the Dominicans blasting their shit from like fucking 5 blocks away. And every time they do it, it's always in a fucking Honda. But the Civic is that one car that everyone says to get. They're cheap, well they used to be. They're abundant, the aftermarket is fucking insane, and they're easy to work on. Though do keep in mind, they do get stolen, which you would think is weird for people to want a 30-year-old car, but they do. If you ask me, I say it's the VTEC under that hood that they really want. That baby can make some serious power, and if you gut it and put a laptop in there, your car will feel like a spaceship. Not really. And you'll be moving like one too. Not exactly. To add some extra horses, you can throw in a turbocharger, a supercharger, or hell, throw in 2 turbochargers. This is your automotive art project, so do what you want with it. But for the love of God, please tell those absolute barnacles to stop straight piping their shit boxes and revving until Kingdom Come at 3 in the morning on a school night. That's probably why so many of them are clapped out and collecting dust while sitting on Facebook Marketplace. And the number one best project car, the best bang for your buck that you could buy to get into the car community would be the Ford Crown Victoria. You want everything on this list in one package? Don't look any further than a Crown Vic. Want power? 4.6 liter V8 engine that will never leave you stranded. This thing is literally a 4-door Mustang. I mean, the police use them, so that's saying something. Do you think that the police, would use an unreliable shitbox to do their job? I didn't think so. The Crown Vic is not what you call a shitbox. A Crown Vic is automotive royalty. Like there is no car like it on this planet. But I digress. You want to instill fear in people's hearts? Get a Crown Vic. Everyone will think you're a cop and will slow down in fear in front of you, so your ego will skyrocket. You won't be the fastest car on the road, but you can do all the hooligan shit that other people do. And Mustangs, 350Zs, G35s, and you'll do it even better. Burnouts, donuts, you'll cook them and everything. Just don't race them, because you probably won't cook them in that. The aftermarket support is actually pretty decent on these little bastards, and people tend to run these things into the ground, but that's because, they weren't properly maintained. A Crown Vic will never do you wrong, and I can vouch for that statement myself, even though I don't personally have one, so I really can't vouch, but I'm going to do it anyway, because you can't tell me what to do. Well, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and class dismissed.